Hey guys, RC here. Today I'm going to be doing a mod review. Don't do a lot of these. In fact, this will be my first mod review for Skyrim. Granted, Skyrim is an older game, but I still think it's one of the best games ever made as far as an RPG type game. Definitely have loved the Elder Scrolls for a long time, and the mod I'm going to cover today is called Skyfall Estates, and it's a house mod, and I think it is the best house in the game. Took me a little bit of getting used to when I first put it in. I had tried about a dozen other mods that I tried, but here you can see it. Here's Whiterun, and then Honningbrew Meadery right down the road, and Skyfall Estates sets up shop. There's Honningbrew right there, and there's Whiterun in that direction, and Skyfall Estate sets up right here in this little opening. Now, when you first install it, and you can install it at any time, it is save game compatible, there will be a sign right in front of this post to the left of the bridge, and it's a for sale sign. If you click on it, it gives you the option to buy the house for 10,000 gold. Once you buy it, you are given a deed and a key automatically to access the house. Now, if you need to cheat or feel the need to cheat, underneath the bridge, it sets up a strong box. It is not locked. It has the deed and the key inside of it to bypass the purchase. That's up to you. We don't judge anybody. And then but I have not ever done that. Coming up into the house, we have a stable to the right. When you first buy the house and when you first come here, there is a large black horse named Onyx that resides in the stable. Onyx is, to me, the best horse in the game. There are a couple of reasons. One, he cannot be killed. He fights for you if you get into combat shortly after getting off of him from riding. He seems to be a little faster than the standard horses as well. The other thing that happens is when you do get off of him, he starts walking home. Now, I left him on the other side of Skyrim, so he has not made it home yet. But he teleports. So if you fast travel to a new location, he will appear with you. And in fact, I can do that real quick. Let's just travel to Honningbrew Meadery, right down the road. And there's Onyx. And you can see he started walking away. Now, when you get on it, like I said, when you get off of him, if I get into a fight while he's in the vicinity, he will actually come and aid me. Otherwise, he starts making his way back to the stable. You only have to get on his saddle once to set this up. It makes it great when you fast travel to a location and then need your mount to ride to the next location. Alright, so that's the stable. Coming up onto the deck here, we have some planters, and these are very useful, that we can actually plant items, and they will grow just like any other flower bed in any other game, any other housing mod that is out there. So works out great. And I'm just making a couple of plants here just to show how it works. So, and you can come back, harvest these. They will continue to grow. You can change them out just like any other. So we have 3 here, 1 there, and then we have 3 more on this side and 3 more here. There's also a satchel that you can store things into if you want to. And if you find any of the the jar displays, they have the shelves that you can toggle here and set them up for display. So that's very nice. Gives you the ability to do that. And that you just click on it and that goes. You have a couple of chests here. Honestly, I have never used them. You have a couple of barrels here. You have a drop-off barrel. Basically what this does is you can drop all your items in here, and I believe this one will be sold to a merchant. I don't use that one either. Over here you have a basement, so it's not just the first story and the second story. You also have a large basement here, and we'll look at that. I haven't used this because I haven't picked up the key yet. So let's go inside, and we'll hit the high points of the house itself. And there are some really neat and unique tricks to this house that I really like. All right, first off is you have 2 men-at-arms and a housekeeper that reside in the house. The men-at-arms you can actually have follow you and use. The housekeeper also doubles as a store owner, so she will buy things from you. You have a library with 11 bookshelves. I do use a bookshelf mod, but this, I believe, says you can hold every book in the game. And that's one of the things I do. I like to set up my library. These planters are not rechargeable, so once you harvest that, it will not grow back, or at least I've never had it grow back. So we have some display cases over here, totems. There's a lot of odds and ends around the house. If you come in, okay, so there's the front door. The library's off to the left. If you come straight ahead, this is into your dining room. And this holds a couple of very, very exciting things that I like. You have every shrine in the game, so it's easy to pop in here and put your shrine on. It does come with a couple of spell books in here. This one is Stendarr's Aura. It is, and a couple more chests. There is an amulet. Again, you don't have to use all those. And this is the other part. It has every standing stone in the game. And so you can activate and change your standing stones right here. So that's awesome. Just some, let's see. So those are just hard-coded in to take one time. I've never messed with those, but those are there just for looks, basically. You have a sitting area, which is pretty nice, and it comes with the on-off switch that you can turn the fire on and off if you want. Some more display cases. The book is nothing, just like I said, just some odds and ends for appearance's sake. Another display case. And then this is one of the first sections where there is, to me at least, a unique item in here. So you have a kitchen, and you have a cooking pot, and you have a barrel. This barrel is an auto store. There are a couple of these in the house. Now, what works great with this is if we hit E, it will give you the option that I can store all but 3 of each item, all but 1 of each item if I want to eat it and keep track of what's happening, half of my items, or all of my items. So it will put all of my food items into this barrel. Now what's great about that is when you come here to cook, all your items are there. It accesses all your items and anything there. So I don't have any food items on me, so let's watch this. I'm going to go into my inventory. I just have the food that I've already cooked. So I don't have any food to cook, but it accesses that barrel, and if you have the materials for it, you're able to cook that item. So it's an auto store that feeds directly to the cooking pot. So that's great. And that's the first one of those that you'll see. So the cooking area, the shrines, and the standing stones. All in all, that by itself would make this a great house mod to use. We're going to go upstairs. And again, coming from the front door, we come upstairs. You have more display cases. You have some gold and a storage box here that you can access. The gold does not repopulate. Again, another planter that does not regrow. This is a followers room. Now, I have not put followers in here. Haven't used it. Wardrobes, more storage. It comes with an alchemy bench. Now, this alchemy section, I can store all my alchemy items in here. They don't stack up, so this is not indicative of what I have in here. But just like that food room, anything I store here is able to be used by this alchemy lab. So watch, I will store all my items. All right, there's all the items that I have, and you can see, let's see, if I go back to my alchemy items, I don't have any, but I can go to the alchemy lab, and there are all the potions I can make, and there are all the ingredients that I have stored away. So very useful. Now, there are two of these in the house, one on this upper level and one down in the basement, which is my main crafting area in the house, which we'll look at later. So I don't use this, but the great thing is your storage area, whether you put them on this shelf or the one in the basement, work with both alchemy labs. Actually, all three. There's a third one in the house that I never go to. All right, same thing with this enchanting table. Now, we can search soul gems. I can put all my filled ones in there. And when I go to enchant, it pulls directly from that barrel or that bucket without having to have them in your inventory. What's also unique is these standing sconces usually have some filled soul gems, including black soul gems, to help with your early level enchanting. You can put there's a strong box. You can keep gear in there. It does not despawn. So typically I would put my enchanting and alchemy gear in there, and that way it's easily accessible for if I do enchanting or alchemy on this level. Another display, you do have a necklace of revival. Don't use that, but you know, you can. Another bedroom, this would be a kid's room, and then you have your master bedroom. Now, there are a couple of things in here. Again, the fireplace, you have a weapons plaque in here, a wardrobe, dagger rack. This is your amulet display, so each one of your amulets has a place to hang, so you can display the amulets in the game. You also have a weapon rack on the wall for, you know, a keepsake item that you want to keep. What's very important, and do not miss this the first time you come in the house, on the counter of this display rack, there is a spell book, and that spell is called Skyfall Estate Teleport Spell. That is an amazing spell. It does not take any magic, so no matter what class or skill set you're playing, you can use this spell. It works from anywhere. So when you get to the end of a dungeon or a quest, and you're loaded down with loot, instead of walking all the way out, you can teleport and you end up just inside the front door. Also, what's great about this spell is it works even if you are over encumbered. Doesn't matter. Now, you still can't walk very fast once you get back in the house, but you can carry more gear. Notes and tomes. There is no way to store these. Well, this would be, I keep them all on my bookshelf downstairs, but you could, basically it's a bookshelf for the secret area, and I guess the notes just stack up. I've never used it. So you have journals, notes. So this is what it would always look like, but this is where you would put those items if you did not want to take up space on the bookcase. Another strong box. This turns on or off the three NPCs. Inside this strong box, there is our trapdoor key. That's for the trapdoor outside, and that's why I never used it, because I never came to get it, because I always come in the front door. I own the place. There is a safe that you can store things in. Again, none of this despawns. So there's a lot of display stuff, the amulets, the books, just really great stuff here. It also comes with a shower area. So we've got a shower. We can turn on the water and take a shower here. Keep clean. Very good. A bar of soap even. We have a hot tub that we can sit in. Towels. Now again, a lot of this you don't actually use, but you can sit in there. So we'll sit down in the hot tub. We'll soak our feet. After a long day of walking and clambering through dungeons and fighting undead and dragons and whatnot, it gives us a place that we can just come relax. So that takes care of the upstairs. So again, you have the display for the amulets in your room, the rare books, journals. You've got enchanting and alchemy here with the bulk storage areas. And that's pretty much what you'll use upstairs. And then that's upstairs coming in again from the front door. But if you come all the way to the right, now we have a basement. Are you ready for this? This is incredible. All right, so we have some weapon racks on the wall that you can, I usually display my signature blades from each town. You have weapon racks along each wall. You have down in the corner, there's one of our NPCs. You have more weapon racks here. This is double-sided, so you can actually group your weapons together. They do have, I don't want to get ahead. You have shield racks on top, so you could actually gather complete sets of gear. You have the mannequin. You can put gear on there, helmets, armor, boots, gloves, the whole 9 yards. They can hold the shield here, or you can mount the shield over them, and that only holds the shield, no weapons there. So this will be all your weapons, display cases that are all workable. All right, and it put my dagger in there, the one that I was using. So we want to fix that. More display cases here on both sides. This is the NPC room, so your NPCs will sleep in here. If you cannot find the housekeeper, she's either sleeping in this bed, or she's wandering around the house cleaning, or she has gone outside the front door and is usually sitting at that table over near the flower bed when you came in. So those are the 3 places to look for her. You have another bedroom for more followers potentially. So a lot of display space for, there's Dawnbreaker, Aegis Bane, Bolar's Oathblade. So some of my named weapons, the Blade of Falkreath, the Axe of Whiterun. I don't keep everything, but you can certainly keep a lot of things. If we come into here, you have the fireplace, which again can be turned on or off as you wish. This is your crafting room, so you have a smelter. You can come here and smelt. You have a forge to make your items. You have a grindstone to improve your weapons, a workbench to improve your armor. Now, you have an auxiliary armor chest, so this is just a place to keep armor. You do put it in there yourself, manually, so it's just one item at a time. It does not despawn. We have a drop-off barrel there. That's similar to the one out on the front porch. I don't use that one either. Just like the alchemy and enchanting that I showed you upstairs, here is your smithing auto store and the cooking as well. So right now I don't have any crafting supplies, but everything I have found is in here. And when I go to blacksmith, Now I'm carrying too much because it loads all of that into your inventory temporarily, and then you can craft whatever items that you have materials for. When you finish, it places all that back after a second into the barrel here, and I'm able to move at full speed. You also have a tanner's rack to make leather. So everything you need crafting wise is in this room. And I mentioned this is your auxiliary room. You have a couple of more mannequins, maybe for gear that you use temporarily, on various quest types. Shields for there. Storage bins that do not despawn. And there is our alchemy lab with the bulk storage. There is our enchanting table with the bulk gems. I can put scrolls here. Here's the strong box that I use, and what I keep in here is basically any of my alchemy enchanted items. Or let's see, I also have Muri's ring there, and I think that was it. Oh, gauntlets of major alchemy. Okay, so that's where I would keep that, so I'm not taking up weight in my inventory. And then when I get home, when I get back to the house here, if I need to brew potions, I just grab those, walk over to the lab, and start making items. It has a staff enchanter, so you can make your own staffs, your staff of a flame atronach or whatever it may be. And you can also make albino spider pod, or you can make spider pods with the imbuing chamber, and it actually has a book here for the recipes. So you have to gather these, of course, but if you do come across any of these items, here's where you would store them, and then you could make it here. So everything is in pretty close proximity. Some more storage. You could store swords. Again, this is default graphics, so that will not change no matter what you put in there. But you can put all your crossbows into that area. Arrows, whatever. But that's what it's going to appear like. You do have a staff bin in here. Again, that's what you will always see, but it will hold staffs that you have come across. And if we come out of here, this is just so incredible to have all this in one location, so close to each other. And then, being able to come out, hang things up on the wall, have a very large room for display. If we continue on to the back of this area, a couple more mannequins. We have another staff storage here, more weapon racks, more mannequins. Let's see, I do have a claw, I believe. I have the coral claw, so let's see if we can find that. Golden, there it is, and you just click on it and it will place it up in the slot. So I'm going to keep that because I haven't done that quest yet, but so you have a place for all your claws, more display cases, more storage, another safe. This is for your black books that you find. You can actually bring them here and have them on display. Your dragon masks, all right here. This is for, actually, let me go get Dawnbreaker. I guess that goes in a special spot. Usually it takes a lot for me to fill this up. So, I don't usually pay a lot of attention back here, except for the claws and the masks. But you do have Dawnbreaker. All right, so there's Dawnbreaker, the Rufalax, the Black Star, Azura's Star, whichever one you have, the Ring of Namira, the Agma Infinium, so Maroon's Razor, Mace of Malai Ball, Ebony Mail, Sanguine Rose. So your special staffs that you can get. The Elder Scrolls will hang here. The 3 Elder Scrolls. Just a generic weapon rack. The Paragons that you can display. And you can put unique armor and weapons in here. So there is so much storage in here, it's not even funny. It does keep everything very distinct and set apart, and we're not even done. All right, so we've covered the second floor with our living area, our main floor with the library cooking area, our basement with our crafting and display area, and then we have this door here. This goes to the basement. Now, let's go downstairs. You remember the key I got just a minute ago that accesses that trap door from outside. That will bring you down into this area, and that will bring you right here. Okay, so if we go up, that should put us outside, right on the front porch, or a deck if you prefer that. I live in the south, it's a porch down here. All right, so I've got the key now so I can get in, and that brings me right back to that basement area where we were just at. So down here, again, storage for days. Let's see, you can turn on and off the lights. We have more displays, more mannequins, more shield racks, just tons and tons and tons of storage. I love this house. It has everything in it that I want in a way that makes sense. More storage this way. More display cases. Now that's on this end. Now we passed up part of this area. All right, so that's where we would come in from the trap door. That's the way down. So if we turn right and then come down, so down this hall, we have a swimming pool, a heated swimming pool at that. And you can actually come swimming in here. It's heated, so even in the dead of winter, no worrying about freezing. Places to sit and just take in the scenery and relax when you're not out, just killing yourself. You have a bar here. No bartender, however. Self-serve. Snow elf. All right, we're going to come back up the stairs. We already went that way with all that display space. That's where we came in, so let's work our way around this way. Some more followers' beds, more displays. Another bar up here. You do have a workable sink. You can't really do anything here. Like I said, a lot of this is just for display. You do have another cooking spot here. You have an oven, and that offers other types of cooking. So let's see. Ooh, 5% more damage. I didn't see that one. So, oh, that's for bows though. Well, I won't use that because I'm not using bows, but we can do that and level that up a little bit and maybe sell it at some point. Swinging back around, there's the main stairs, the hallway to this pool and the display room. So we will, just another sitting area with the flags of each major city and group. And we come around this way, more beds. And then here's that third alchemy table and enchanting table. You do have a satchel here. This shelf will be lined with items including some of the hearth fire, some of the additional games, the secondary games, ash jelly that you can collect there are going to be on that shelf. You do have a couple more sconces with some more soul gems that would help you. There are also some training books that would be right here. So very early on, if you wanted those, you could get a couple of levels by training up with the books, or save those for later in the game when it's harder to level up. Strong box, again, you could keep items here. But again, I think the one in the basement with the crafting room is just so convenient to all the displays. I do everything there. Now, again, if I wanted to enchant something, it's loading my soul gems. So all my soul gems from my storage compartment are here. So that works even if no matter which one of the chests you put them in, they're available in all 3 locations. And that's just unbeatable. Like I said, it took me a little bit of getting used to and making sure that those items would not despawn. We come up the stairs, and this will bring us back into the basement where our display and crafting room was. And basically, that first floor and the basement are the 2 main floors I use for this house. Now, you notice the mannequins wobble a little bit. You do get that sometimes. But I've never lost anything in here, knock on wood, and I've been using this for a couple of years now. So I highly recommend this mod. Just the things the house offers, the ability to teleport and craft. This helps level up so fast because everything's available for you at one point without having to wander around. And the teleportation spell is just a lifesaver. And again, I have that set to my hotkeys, and it's simply casting the spell. You'll disappear, and right there you appear right at the front door of the house from wherever you are in Skyrim. It works everywhere. So if you're about to die, maybe cast that and get home and go back and finish that off a little bit later. Get to the end of a dungeon and you're, weighed down. Oh, here's the housekeeper, Olivia. And you can talk to her. She does have stock. So if you're going to be doing smithing, for example, she sells 40 of each type of ore and leather, and when you buy this, it will recharge. She will restock that. She does not have weapons or just some basic stuff that she gets, nothing that's real major. A few minor potions, although I'm running low on health. She carries Daedra hearts, but she does have a good bit of gold. She does come defaulted with a large amount, and that resets as well. So I could come in and I could sell to her, whatever I want and get rid of it and free up that weight and inventory. And again, she'll either be in the bedroom sleeping down in the basement with the other NPCs. As you saw, she just went outside. She'll be wandering around right outside, usually sitting over at the table or just getting some sun. Or she'll be somewhere in the house sweeping on the second level or this level. She usually does not go downstairs except to sleep. You notice the 2 guys downstairs, they were cleaning. So that's where you would find your NPCs if you wanted them. Anyway, that's Skyfall Estate. There's a lot to see in here. There's a lot to use in here. Even when you teleport and you're loaded down, overbearing, it doesn't take you but a couple of minutes to walk down the stairs and then drop everything off, some dragon bones and into your barrel and get rid of those. So I hope the walkthrough has helped. I hope you give this mod a try. I highly recommend it. Thanks for watching.